Hello students, welcome back to taxonomy classes. Today we will be studying about taxonomy of angiosperm, especially we'll study Brassicaceae family today. The mustard family or Cruciferae is composed of approximately 380 genera and 3,709 species. So from this you can understand that it's a large family. This family is found worldwide. That means what? You can find this family throughout the world. It has huge economic and agricultural importance. So we'll come to that later. This family, to start off with, let's first know that this family has got huge agricultural and economic importance throughout. This family is also known as the cabbage family. Now we'll take up each of its structural aspects and discuss in details. So we'll start off with the leaves. Now overall this plant is herbaceous in nature. I mean the plants of this family are generally herbaceous. You will generally not find big tree under this family. Fine. Now let's concentrate on the leaves. The structure of the leaves are very important in this aspect. Fine. The leaves are alternate or sub-opposite. Fine. You know how does alternate leaves look like? Suppose this is the stem. You have leaves like this. Fine. This is your alternate arrangement. Okay. They are simple, exstipulate. That means what? Stipules are absent. They are colline or radical, sessile. Sessile means what? There is no stalk to the leaf. The leaves are devoid of stalks. Fine. Sessile, hairy. Now this is an important characteristic feature. Look at these diagrams. The leaves are hairy in nature. That means what? They are pubescent. They have minute hairs all throughout the surface of the leaves. Next, they are entire with unicostate reticulate venation. Okay. Next, we'll study about the stem. This is the stem. You can see the stem is it has got round edge. It is herbaceous, erect, and cylindrical. It is rarely woody in nature. It is reduced, glabrous, or hairy. You can find hairs on the stem, or else it can also be absent. It is solid. Solid means what? If you take a cross section through it, it will not be hollow inside. It is solid. Fine. And branched. So this is a feature of the stem. You can see it is cylindrical in nature. It can be glabrous or it can be hairy. It is herbaceous, erect, and branched. Next we'll come to the floral characteristics. Okay, how does the flower look? What are the characters of the flower? We'll come to the floral characters of Brassicaceae. It is pedicellate. What does the word pedicellate mean? It has got a pedicel or stalk. Look, it has got a pedicel or stalk. Pedicellate with pedicel sometimes in the axil of the bract. It is often ebracteate. Bisexual. Bisexual means what? It has got androecium as well as gynoecium in one flower. Actinomorphic. Zygomorphic. It can be actinomorphic as well as zygomorphic. Okay. Zygomorphic, you have these two very important examples, Iberus and Thessalia. Hypogynous, it means what? Ovary is superior, complete or incomplete. Incomplete example, you have Lepidium and Tetramerous. Tetramerous means what? By looking at this very flower, you can understand the tetramerous symmetry of this particular flower. Brightly colored. Most often you will see the flowers are either yellow, white, lavender. They are cruciform, and this cruciform flower, this arrangement gives it the name crucifery. The other name of the family is crucifery. Okay. Next, it is either complete or incomplete. We have just now mentioned, it's just a repetition of the point. It's either complete or incomplete. Next, we'll come to the inflorescence. Inflorescence, we get three types here. One is raceme, the other is corymbose raceme, the third is corymb. Fine. Now let's take the floral characters in details. Okay. Let's come to the sepals and petals, the calyx and corolla of the flower. 4 sepals are arranged in 2 whorls of 2 each. They are polysepalous in nature. That means what? They are free in nature. Please take a look at the diagram, the picture, and try to correlate these pictures with the given text over here. 2 anteroposterior and 2 lateral. 4 sepals are there. 2 of them are anteroposterior and 2 are lateral. 2 lateral sepals may be saccate. Estivation is imbricate. Inferior, rarely persistent. Can you say what is, which family has got the character persistent calyx? It is Solanaceae. We'll come to that later. Rarely persistent in Brassicaceae. Now we'll come to the petals. 4 petals set alternate with sepals. So the petals are set at an alternate position with respect to the sepals. Polypetalous in nature, that means what? They are not gamo, that means they do not adhere to each other, they are free. Petals arranged in the form of a cross known as cruciform. May or may not be differentiated into claw. Petals generally equal, rarely unequal. Okay. Sometimes petals may be replaced by stamens. This is found in Capsella. This can come for a 1-mark question. So please note this. Next, we'll go to the androecium. Okay. Stamens are 6 in number. They are arranged in 2 whorls. Outer 2 stamens are short and inner 4 are long. This 2+4 orientation is important. Tetradidymonas, polyandrous, anthers dithecous, basifixed, intrors. Please try to understand each of these characters separately. Okay, they are tetradidymonas, polyandrous, anthers are dithecous, basifixed in nature, and intrors. Now correlate these texts with this diagram over here. Though it's very small, it's minute, but still refer to the textbooks along with these. They are now we'll come to the disc-like nectaries. Disc-like nectaries variable in number, present at the base of the stamen. So where are these nectaries present? They are present at the base of the stamen. Sometimes, variable numbers are also found, 16, 4, 2, like that. So for each of these, you will have to know the examples. Now coming to gynoecium. Bicarpellary, generally it is bicarpellary in nature, rarely it is tricarpellary. So Lepidium sativum gives you tricarpellary. Three carpels are there, okay. Then ovary superior syncarpus, unilocular, is normally unilocular, then becomes bilocular due to the development of false septum called replum. Okay, due to the development of what? Due to the development of false septum. Placentation parietal. Please look at the diagram of this TS of ovary over here. Next, coming to ovules. Ovules are many. Style short, stigma simple or bifid. See, style short and stigma is simple or bifid. Next, coming to the seeds. Siliqua, sometimes lumentum. Lumentum is found in Raphanus. When the vegetable separate in a siliqua, when the valve separate in a siliqua, the seeds remain attached to the replum. Fine. Seeds are exalbuminous, epigeal, germination noted. Please look at these germinating Brassicaceae seeds to see the type of germination. This is the seed and this is the fruit or siliqua. Okay. Now this is very important. Please learn up the floral diagram. Try to match this diagram with this formula, the floral formula. See, it is ebracteate, ebracteolate, actinomorphic, bisexual, calyx 2 plus 2. We said corolla 4, androecium 2 plus 4 orientation, superior ovary and bicarpellary. This should be here. This diagram should have these components as far as possible. This is the mother axis. Please do not draw a floral diagram without this dot, without this mother axis. Okay. So this is how we come to the concluding part of our Brassicaceae. Before we conclude, let me tell you something. Let's talk a little about the agricultural or economic importance of Brassicaceae. You know, you must be knowing Brassicaceae is such a family which is used, which is our day-to-day ingredient in our life. You know, in the kitchen, you can find this. You can find the use of Brassicaceae a lot. Like you all use mustard oil that is extracted from brassicacean members. You use number of vegetables from this family. You agree that? You agree to it, right? Cabbage, cauliflower, radish, all these vegetables are all members of Brassicaceae. So this particular plant has got huge economic importance. When we look at the seeds, okay, the seeds are directly used as spices. Oils are extracted from the seed. After extraction of the oil, the leftover, the remaining, those oil cakes and all, those are also used for cattle feed, feeding the cattle. So you can understand how important this plant is. You all have heard of the word sarso ka saag, right? Sarso ka saag means what? You're using the leaves also as a kitchen ingredient, as vegetables. Okay, the seeds are also being used as vegetables. So you find multiple use of this particular family. Okay, so this is how we conclude our discussion with Brassicaceae today. Thank you.